Friends, welcome to the fourth Sunday of Lent. I can't believe that we are already more than halfway through these 40 days of Lent, and I'm hoping and praying that you are having a meaningful Lenten journey. As you know, every Lent we put ourselves under the spotlight of sort of self-reflection. We are invited to enter into ourselves and examine who are we in front of God, and in a sense our relationship with God, and who are we in front of others, because you and I, we claim to be baptized Christians, and this question of whether my actions, my life is consistent with the ideals of being a Christian kind of continue to reverberate in our mind. So again, this season of Lent is a time of renewal for us. Now, alongside with this sense of self-examination, we also are evaluating our lives and also looking into the events in our lives. So what had happened recently in my life? I bet some of us are undergoing through some tough times, trying to make sense of perhaps an experience of loss in our family, loss of a child, or perhaps experiencing, a very threatening diagnosis, or perhaps or cancer or other difficult illness, or perhaps if others are struggling in their relationships, in their marriage, in their relationship with their children, or a relationship with at their place of work, or there could be so many other things. Some of us are trying to make sense of the what's going on in the world. The recent earthquake in Turkey that claimed more than 60,000 people, and also this ongoing senseless war in Eastern Europe, and not that far actually in our streets. There's so many violence, and this time of Lent helps us to reconnect with the source of meaning and wisdom. Hopefully, through our faith, we will be enlightened to make sense of all these events. I mean, we don't, on our own, we don't claim to be able to understand. Why? Because my brain is only as big as this. That is why it's so important for me to get near to God or deepen my relationship with Christ as much as possible. Why? Because it is only through my deeper relationship with Christ that I can receive and gain wisdom for me to be able to understand and to see the events through the eyes and the mind of Christ. On my own, I'm so limited intellectually and logically. I tend to rationalize. I tend to point fingers at others. I tend to judge others like that. So in a sense, without Christ in my life, I see things through human perspectives, through my own opinions and all that. That is why during Lent, I am invited to reconnect myself with Christ, because the closer I get to Christ, the clearer I become, because Jesus Christ, I will be seeing through the eyes and understand. I will be receiving wisdom. Now, the gospel that we have today, I think it's very relevant, because we are reminded of the story of this man born blind, and the people who are confronting Jesus, asking him, now what sin has this man committed? He was born blind already. His parents must have sinned, so this blindness must be a consequence of the previous sins. So anyway, of course, the theology at that time kind of simple, in a sense that if you are suffering, you must have done something wrong. Remember Job? That was the argument at the time of Job, because Job was trying to defend himself. No, I have not done anything wrong. And then his friends ask him, Job, you must have done something wrong. Why you're suffering? So that was kind of, because if you are good, you're supposed to be rewarded, right? So that's the simple theology. But here Jesus is trying to enlighten us, enlighten his audience by telling them that no, not necessarily. Neither he nor his parents sinned. It is so that the works of God might be made visible through him. God's might be made possible through him. So in a sense, Jesus is telling us that instead of really solving the questions, the mystery in our world, why things happen this way, why this, why that, Perhaps another way of looking at it is through the voice of Jesus, by saying that sometimes the Lord allow things to happen or permit things to happen for a better purpose, for a greater purpose. Yes, we may sometimes it can entail suffering, but at the end, there is a much bigger and better will or better wisdom that we can learn from, and through that, the power, the might of God can manifest through my experience. Even if I undergo some tough times in life, through how much experience have we learned, how much lesson have we learned from the things that we have undergone. So perhaps this time of Lent, as we examine our lives, hopefully, many of us have encountered suffering. Hopefully, by getting closer and closer to Jesus, as we say in with the Passionist language, we sit at the foot of the cross. Why? Because right there we receive the wisdom of that immeasurable meaning that the cross can provide for us. So, dear friends, I wish you all, as we continue in this Lenten journey, I wish you all a meaningful, and hopefully this season of Lent will make us more and more teachable or docile, that we will truly appreciate the need of God, the need for God in our lives. Amen.